Throw out the records. The second season begins today. It is the 2025 Northern Athletics Collegiate Conference Softball Tournament here at Bedrosian Stadium at Spartan Athletic Park, just outside of the campus of Aurora University. It is a single elimination first day of the tournament, and it begins with the 5-8 matchup in the bracket. It'll be the 5th-seeded Raiders of the Milwaukee School of Engineering taking on the tournament hosts and 8th-seeded Aurora University. And the Spartans in their road uniforms and in the first base dugout here for Game 1. Thanks for being here. It's going to be hopefully a dry 4 days, and the forecast looks great. Be warming up as we continue. First things first, we'll see if Aurora and MSOE can play less than 21 innings, as they did a handful of weeks ago when they played a marathon 15-inning game in the first of what ended up being an Aurora sweep by 4-3 scores in both. How did they get here? MSOE on the season, 19-21, 15-9 in the NACC. They finished in a tie for 5th with Marion and had the tiebreaker to be in this first game. Aurora 13-11 in conference play. They tied for 7th with Lakeland and fell on the tiebreaker to drop into this game. They were 23-17 in the regular season. Aurora is the only team to have qualified for all 18 NACC tournaments. They're looking for their 5th title, first since 2015. It would also be their 18th NCAA tournament appearance. Milwaukee School of Engineering is in the tournament for the 8th straight year. That's the second longest active streak after AU. It's their 9th overall, and you may remember, if you've been watching long enough or perhaps you're a parent of a senior, that MSOE for a while was the class of the field in the NACC. They were the champions in 2021, that very strange year, and 2022, and they were in the final the year before and after they repeated as champs. So it's Aurora and MSOE. They'll be here in Game 1. The winner moves on and takes on Concordia Chicago this afternoon, and the team that falls will see its season come to an end. Lineup cards in hand will be exchanged here in a matter of moments, so stay with us. Our broadcast today is presented in part by Kaufman GMC in Aurora, celebrating 75 years of service to Aurora and communities across Chicagoland. By Elite Management Properties, offering extensive student housing options around the Aurora University campus, and by Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. Game days are better with Cane's. Lineup cards are being exchanged, so let's meet our lineups today for the first game of the 2025 NACC Softball Tournament. First, the lineup from Sierra Spyu and the 5th-seeded Raiders of the Milwaukee School of Engineering. And leading off, it'll be the catcher, Autumn Sadler, followed by the second baseman, Jenna O'Donnell. Center fielder, Alyssa Jacobson, will bat third. Jada Nelson is the cleanup batter. She will be at first base. 5, 6, and 7 are the right fielder Carly Emery, pitcher Katie Pollock, and the shortstop Caroline Forrest. Designated player Olivia Beals bats 8th. Addie Cortman rounds out the lineup in left field. And the flex player is at third base. That is Reese Conzal. Sadler, O'Donnell, Jacobson, Nelson, Emery, Pollock, Forrest, Beals, Cortman, and Conzal the lineup for MSOE. And then the pitcher is Katie Pollock, the sophomore right-hander from Griffith, Indiana. In the regular season, a 12-10 record, a 3.42 ERA in 143 and one-third innings with 133 strikeouts. That led the NACC in the regular season. It'll be her 22nd start and 28th appearance overall. MSOE will have the last at-bat, which is unusual for me as the regular AU announcer, but let's meet the lineup for the Spartans. The 8th-seeded Aurora University squad with this lineup for the first game of the day on Thursday. It is the center fielder, Aubrey Ortiz, leading off. Shortstop Faith Biggs bats second. Lily Comperta is in the 3 spot playing first base, and Nina Richards bats cleanup. She'll play third base today. Alex Steele is in left field. She'll hit 5th, followed by Carly Clemens, the second baseman. And the bottom third of the order is the catcher, Kelsey Oviatt, designated player, Stephanie DeBise, and the right fielder, Mia Malchek. Ortiz, Biggs, Comperta, Richards, Thiel, Clemens, Oviatt, DeBise, and Malchek, the lineup for Aurora. And it is the freshman from right here in Aurora, Caitlin Seraphin, getting the ball for AU for what they hope is not their only game of the day. She was terrific in her freshman season, going 96 and 2/3 innings, striking out 67, and pitching to a 2.03 ERA in 19 appearances and 12 starts. So a very nice regular season for Seraphin. She'll get the ball trying to pitch Aurora into the second round of single elimination on this Thursday. Lineups are being announced here to the fans at Bedrosian Stadium under the mostly cloudy sky so far today. We'll have the national anthem for the only time today coming up, and we'll have first pitch here at Bedrosian. This is the 2025 NACC softball tournament.
At home plate is Michael Naranjo. At first base, Brad Schlesinger. And at third base, Simon Steiner. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please rise as we honor America and those who support our freedom at home and abroad with the playing of our national anthem.
we will play 10 and possibly 11 games in the 2025 NACC softball tournament. The first getting underway in a matter of moments as Katie Pollock steps into the circle. MSOE wearing white home uniforms with red letters. It reads, well, to be honest, it reads the MSOE logo across the front of the uniform. They have red socks with black and white stripes. Pollock throwing in her warm-up tosses to Autumn Sadler behind the plate. It is Reese Conzall at third, Caroline Forrest at short, Jenna O'Donnell playing second. Jaden Nelson is at first. Behind her in right field is Carly Emery. It's Alyssa Jacobson in center field. And Addie Kortman is the left fielder for the first game of the tournament. Aurora getting set to bat wearing their blue road uniforms with white numbers and letters. It reads Aurora in script on the front, black pants and blue socks. The Aurora road uniforms do not get used a ton here at Bedrosian Stadium, but they are out for today. As Aurora looks to play on, and the Raiders will try to deny them that and avoid losing and being swept in the season series. They'll lose the season series regardless after Aurora took the 2 games on April 26th. But those 2 don't matter. It's one that starts right now, and at 11:01, we're underway as Aubrey Ortiz takes ball 1. Spartan leadoff batter, hit .388 in the regular season, 2 doubles, 5 driven in, and her presence in the left-handed batter's box warps the MSOE defense as the third baseman, Conzall, is well down the third base line. The rest of the infield is drawn in. First 2 pitches are misses to Ortiz, and the third is a looping breaking ball. We saw that a lot from Pollock when she was here a couple of weeks ago. That breaking ball floats in. It's almost a knuckleball, but she misses with 4 straight to begin the tournament. And the speedy Ortiz is on to set the table for Aurora. Spartans had 53 stolen bases in the regular season, 4th best in the NACC, and Ortiz herself had 11, second best on the team. The right-handed batting Faith Biggs steps in. All-tournament selection last season and has been very good in the NACC tournament for her career. She had .355, 9 doubles, 3 homers, and 27 RBIs in the regular season. She takes strike 1 and then puts a bunt down, and it's a beauty. The third baseman, Conzall, comes up, gets it, and fires to second, or rather to O'Donnell, covering first from second, and the sacrifice is successful. So into the heart of the Aurora order, Lily Comperda joined the regular lineup mid-season and has hit very well for Aurora and has moved up to the 3 spot. First pitch from Pollock. Comperda cuts on and misses. The infield back at normal depth with 1 out in the top of the first. Comperda hit .339 with a homer, 12 driven in the regular season. Here is Pollock's 0-1. That runs up and in. We're level and a ball and a strike. 57 degrees here at first pitch. It'll warm up into the low 60s today. Skies for the moment still mostly cloudy. Winds are blowing in from right center field, north of 15 miles per hour. Another swing and a miss as Comperda falls behind 1-2. And Katie Pollock in this spot this season has largely been able to put away batters on strikes. You don't pile up 133 Ks if you don't have an out pitch. She went for the outside corner and didn't get it. And the count evens at 2-2. Home plate umpire Michael Naranjo took a look at that one, said it was wide, and now the 2-2 from Pollock. Up and over the bat, Comperda, who swings and misses for the second out. It's Fred Schlesinger, the first base umpire, and Simon Steiner is over at third. That's the rest of the umpiring crew here for game 1. Nina Richards digs in, looks at ball 1 just a bit too tall. Richards hit .363, 1 homer, 10 doubles, and led the Spartans with 35 driven in. That also was third best in the NACC. 1-0 from Pollock, finds the inside corner. Good pitch. Level the count. Aurora looking to strike first on this Thursday morning. Here's the 1-1. That's down and in. And Richards inches ahead with 2 outs, and Ortiz standing on second base. 2-1 from Pollock. Popped up. Right side of the infield. Nelson, the first baseman, a few steps behind first, makes the catch, and that's it for Aurora. As they threaten but do not score in the top of the first. The leadoff walk was left stranded. Nothing for Aurora in the top of the first. MSOE coming to bat. Caitlin Seraphin into the circle for Aurora. She'll face MSOE for the first time today. Autumn Sadler will get it started for the Raiders after Aurora was held scoreless in the top of the first. Sadler, the freshman from Muskego, Wisconsin, on a career-long 10-game hit streak to end the regular season. Looks at ball 1 from Seraphin, who's throwing into Kelsey Oviatt behind the plate. The 1-0 pitch to Sadler, who at 341 with a homer, 11 driven in. That's fouled straight back. The count is 1-1. A very nice freshman campaign. First career home run was a solo shot a couple of weekends ago against St. Norbert. So she clearly has the power, although, as ball 2 floats in, it might take a poke to get one out of here today with the wind gusting in out of right center field. 2-1. Runs inside, finds the inside corner. A good pitch from Seraphin to even the count. A freshman versus freshman battle. The first 4 in the MSOE lineup are righties. The last 4 are righties, and right in the middle in the 5 spot is their only lefty in the order. Here's a drive to left. Going back, Thiel watches it, and it crashes into the fence on the fly. Thiel up and throwing. Autumn Sadler with designs on challenging my thought about how difficult it would be to get one out of here today. Missed it by about a couple of feet. It's a leadoff double. Seraphin has largely limited extra base hits. It's just the 23rd double and 25th extra base hit she's allowed in 96 2/3 innings. First base is open, and a runner in scoring position as Jenna O'Donnell takes ball 1. 309, 9 doubles, 2 homers, 16 driven in the regular season for the senior, and a liner up the middle. Ortiz will pick it up and heave it in. It's cut off by Comperta behind the rubber, and that will prevent Sadler from scoring. Runners on the corners and nobody out. And a good start for MSOE in the first game of the tournament. Infield is in immediately. You can tell the Aurora coaching staff senses this is a huge moment in the game as Alyssa Jacobson digs in. Runner goes, and Aurora will simply allow O'Donnell to take second base rather than risk Sadler dashing home from third. The pitch missed. It's 1-0 to Jacobson, who hit 366 with 6 homers. Towering fly ball to left. This one is gone. And that was quite the poke that I was suggesting. A no-doubt shot. Team leading 7th of the season for Jacobson. A 3-run blast. And a 3-0 lead for MSOE. The bases are empty. Aurora still has not gotten an out. So Emma Liddon out of the Aurora dugout to have a word. As stirring begins in the Aurora bullpen. Aurora has had some bumpy starts this season. One of those was MSOE. After that 15-inning win, the Raiders immediately put up 3 in the top of the first. Aurora answered right back with 3 and took the lead in the second, and there were no more runs allowed after that. This is not an insurmountable deficit, but to say the very least, it is not an ideal start for the Spartans. In a less windy day, I find myself wondering how far that last home run would have traveled. First pitch to Jada Nelson is fouled off. She led the Raiders with a .395 mark. Her 35 driven in was in the top 5 in the NACC, 1 homer and 9 doubles. The sophomore from Appleton, Wisconsin. 0-1 pitch, down and in. For the freshman Seraphin, it's going to be about not letting a rough first inning become a rough several innings. 1-1. Fouled off. And Seraphin gets ahead. It's 1 inning. You got to get 21 outs, one way or the other. Slam the door from here and you can give your offense a chance to get back in it. Breaking ball and a pop-up. Comparative will take care of that out at first. And Aurora gets an out on the 4th batter. And we'll see the only lefty of the MSOE lineup dig in, and Carly Emery. 10 doubles, just inside the top 10 in the NACC. 28 driven in, 3 homers, and a .336 mark for the sophomore out of Mankato, Minnesota. Maybe 90 minutes outside of the Twin Cities. Ball 1 down and away. Now Seraphin back into her motion and misses outside. Fall behind 2-0. Said the Twin Cities, but in Minnesota they actually just call them generally the cities. They dropped the twin part. Everyone knows. It's a line drive into the right center field gap. That will go all the way to the wall as Ortiz picks it up on the track, throws it in. It's the 3rd extra base hit of the ball game and just 5 batters for MSOE. And a dream spot for the pitcher Katie Pollock, who digs in. Any chance to help yourself is always desired for the rare pitcher who hits. Not seen it a lot over the years here in the NACC. Seems to be getting less common as we go. She takes ball 1. Does not have enough at-bats to qualify for the batting title, but would lead the team with a .414 mark, 8 doubles and 13 driven in. She gets ahead 2-0, and with first base open, just 1 out here in the first, already down 3-0, you wonder if this might be the so-called, well, maybe not, the line drive to center. It was hit on the screws, but right out at Aubrey Ortiz, who makes the catch. I was about to say, you wonder if it's an unintentional, intentional walk of sorts. Caroline Forrest now. Junior from Wyoming hit .413 against the NACC. Brings a .389 mark into play today after a terrific regular season. She gets ahead, taking ball 1 from Seraphin. No extra base hits, but 15 driven in on the season. And ahead of Seraphin, 2-0, who is at the moment fighting the command. 2-0 pitch. That finds the inside corner. 2 balls and a strike. And cut on and missed. So Forrest and Seraphin locked in a 2-2 count and a flare into right center. It's down for a hit. Emery is around third. She will score. It's 4-0 MSOE. as they have collected hits on 3 of 4 chances with a runner in scoring position. 8 to the plate for MSOE in the bottom of the first, and Olivia Beals trying to move the line. She swings and misses at the first pitch from Seraphin as Oviatt snaps a throw down the first. Forrest back in with a slide. Beals hit .233, 4 doubles. 13 driven in her freshman season. And fouls the 0-1 off the end of the bat. .02. It's on the chalk for a ball. Seraphin will try again with a 1-2 count, and that's fouled off the handle. One-two. Breaking ball and missed the outside corner. Two outs, 1 on, and a 2-2 pitch, and rolled over to third. Richards got the heel of the glove on, recovered, and threw out Beals for the final out. Not a great start for Aurora. 4 runs on 5 hits, 1 left. Work to do as we go to the second. MSOE leading the Spartans 4-0 in the 2025 NACC tournament. For nothing MSOE as we go to the second. Alex Steele in the 5 spot of the Aurora lineup will lead off. Senior from Glendale, Arizona, hit .304 with 8 doubles and 17 driven in. 2 of those were when she was the hero of the 15-inning game against the Raiders. She was great that entire day, as a matter of fact. Has had a strong finish to the season, hitting in 8 of the last 9 and 4 straight coming into the tournament. 0-1 popped up. Nelson drifts over toward the circle, makes the catch for the first out. Aurora just 5 wins this season when they've allowed the game's first run. Not insurmountable. A team that averaged 5.5 runs per game. Don't need it all back right now. Carly Clemens takes ball 1 from Katie Pollock. .269 and the team leading 11 doubles for Clemens, who homered once and drove in 18. A foul ball. Next pitch from Pollock evens the count. The more pressing problem for Aurora is that's the 19th time they've allowed a run in the first inning. And in 4 of the most recent 5 games, including today, they've had to play from behind. But a very capable lineup. Clemens fouls off another pitch and falls behind 1-2. Pollock trying to record the second out. Runs a pitch down and in that Clemens allows. Counts 2-2. Nobody on and 1 out in the top of the second. A check swing and a good take by Clemens. Works the count full. Payoff pitch coming to the freshman from West Chicago. And a swinging bunt that rolls up. A lot of spin on that as it came into Pollock, who nearly sailed the throw. Fortunately for the Raiders, Jada Nelson is 5'10", and was able to haul that in. 2 down. You could make an argument that Kelsey Oviatt was hitting the ball better than anyone in Aurora's lineup down the stretch. She steps in, fouls off Pollock's first pitch. 313, a homer and 12 driven in for a freshman season. 5 of 6 with a double in the final series against Lakeland. And was a tough out, really, the entire second half of the season. 0-1. It's on the chalk and taken for ball 1. Freshman out of Newark, California. The latest in a line of players from California who have made a significant impact for the AU softball program over the years, and I expect that she'll have a bright career here with the Spartans. She fouls off the 1-1. Now Pollock a pitch away from exiting the second. Gets a pop-up again. There's been a ton of those today. This is in foul territory, and the catcher Sadler stayed with it, went to her knees, and made the catch right in front of the backstop. A lot of pop-ups and weak contact here through 2 innings. Aurora goes in order in the top of the second. MSOE gets the bats back out in the bottom half with a 4-0 lead. Aurora has gone to the bullpen in the second inning as Madeline Buskey, the senior right-hander from St. Louis, is into the game. Buskey in out of the bullpen for the 5th time this season. It'll be her 20th appearance overall, 79 innings, a 4.87 ERA as she starts off Addie Cortman in the 9th spot of the MSOE order with ball 1. Buskey has been quite good in the NACC tournament for her career. And Aurora calling on her to slam the door for the final however many innings are required in this one. He pumps in a strike to Cortman, who's hitting .243 on the season. The junior fouls off the next pitch, and it's Buskey who gets ahead, 1-2. Maddie actually does not have a win in her career in the NACC tournament despite pitching well. Here's a pop-up first base side in foul territory. Comparado will track it down for the first out. 0-3, and that includes a very tough luck 3-hit, 1-run loss against Dominican last season. 2.90 ERA and 20 innings of work. That's a good line. Probably deserved better than the decisions that she's gotten. She is collected in these spots. Autumn Sadler, who doubled and scored last inning, takes ball 1. And then fights off the next pitch. Buskey takes a moment. Back in on the bump. Here's the pitch. Misses downstairs. Sun has broken through for the first time. We see some blue sky out beyond left field. I'd like it to stay that way. Sharp liner in the right at Mia Malchek. 2 away. Not a lot of barrels being missed right now by Aurora. MSOE has hit the ball hard just about everywhere. Jenna O'Donnell, who singled in her first trip, scorches a grounder up the middle for a 2-out single. Now, this is an Aurora pitching staff that throws strikes. They walked 44 batters in 41 games. That was far and away the league's lowest walk total. And so that means that Aurora is going to be around the plate, and opposing batters will get pitches to swing at. And when Aurora has been at its best, they've been able to work the corners and avoid the hard contact. Ball 1 and then a swinging strike to Alyssa Jacobson, who launched a no-doubt 3-run home run in the first. Buskey trying to prevent that from happening again and gets another swing and a miss. Really good pitch by Buskey, who gets ahead. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jacobson's home run was the 11th of her career. She's now 2 off of MSOE's all-time career mark, which is Morgan Long, the 2023 alum. Foul ball on 1 and 2. We'll try it again. Here it is. It's in the dirt. Good stop by Oviatt. 2-2 count, 2 outs and 1 on in the bottom of the 4th. Fly ball to right. Malchek will have plenty of time to get under this. She finds it, and the inning is over. 2-out single left on base. And we'll go to the 3rd. 4-0 MSOE. 8-9-1 due up in the Aurora lineup. Stephanie DeBise takes strike 1 from Katie Pollock here in the top of the 3rd. It's 4-0 MSOE, and then a foul ball. Fall behind 0-2. Top of the 3rd inning, DeBise led Aurora with a .405 mark, 6 homers, 27 driven in the regular season. 0-2. They're the first batter of the 3rd. It's up and in, and DeBise takes it. Sophomore from Payton, Colorado. Alum of Discovery Canyon High School, looking to come through with a hit. Rolls one back up the middle. Pollock able to get the glove down, scoops it up. And DeBise is thrown out to begin the 3rd inning. And we'll see Mia Malchek. Entered the lineup about 3 weeks ago at Marion. A double and 2 RBIs on the season. She bats here with the bases empty and takes a pitch down and in. Aurora trying to do a few things that are exceedingly difficult. One of those has developed as the game has gone along. Malchek takes strike one. The first is they're trying to become just the second team to be the last seeded team in the field to win the conference tournament. It's happened. You got to go back a little ways. The 1-1's fouled off. That was Concordia, Wisconsin. They were the 6th seed in 2009. Came through and won anyway. So Aurora as the 8th seed trying to do that here in 2025. 1-2 pitch misses. And it's 2-2. And now also trying to be the first team to beat MSOE, potentially when trailing at the halfway point. The Raiders have been death and taxes when they've led through 4 this season, 14-0. And Aurora still with plenty of time in this game. And as we've already seen on multiple occasions this season, a big inning in this lineup is never that far away. Malchek's battling here in the 9 spot, waits on a breaking ball and loops it in the left for Aurora's first hit. And we'll see if that gets things started for AU as the lineup turns over. Ortiz reached on a walk. Lead off the ball game. Hit .364 in the NACC tournament last season as part of what ended up as an all-region campaign. Shoots the first pitch. Foul into the MSOE dugout on the third base side. 0-1 the count. Mentioned Kelsey Oviatt earlier. Here's another Ortiz out of Escondido, California. Fouls off the 0-2. I mentioned this in her first plate appearance. The infield shifts very significantly with Ortiz, the slap hitter at the top of the Aurora order. But Ortiz will need to protect. Here's the 0-2. Fought off. It's not just the slap hitting technique. It's also that, well, let's pause there. That's an illegally batted ball, and Ortiz is out. Well, we'll hold that thought until her next time up. We saw Ortiz was retired on a couple of those a few weeks ago as well, and it pops up again here. Brings Faith Biggs to the plate with 1 on and 2 outs. Big swing and a miss on the first pitch from Pollock. Faith trying to get it started here. Close take. And a ball for the 5th-year senior from Union Mills, Indiana. 1-1. Has popped a mile high and also foul as that heads towards the entry road. And it's 1-2. One on, 2 outs, and a 1-2 count to Biggs. Sadler tried to frame a pitch that was well outside, but home plate umpire Michael Naranjo was not buying it. And it's 2-2. Pitch popped up. Said that a lot here through 3 innings in foul territory just outside the first base tunnel. Nelson makes the catch. Aurora's retired at the top of the 3rd. Get their first hit, leave it on first base. And importantly, do not score as they trail MSOE through 2.5, 4-0. Madeline Buskey back out for a second inning of work. Kept MSOE off the board in the bottom of the second. Aurora still trails 4-0 in the bottom of the third. Jada Nelson hits the first pitch hard, but in the direction of Mia Malchak, who makes the catch and records the first out. It indeed is tournament season. The NACC baseball tournament got underway yesterday with single elimination play at Concordia, Wisconsin and MSOE. Now the rest of the tournament is just at MSOE. So we'll take a look at how things are going up in Milwaukee as we continue through play today. MSOE and Aurora, our opponents here in the first game, were number 1 and number 2 in the baseball standings and got the important double bye. Emery at the plate doubled in her first trip and on a 1-1 count fires it foul over the third base dugout. Emery hit in 5 of her final 6, including a 3-for-3 game in the finale against Marion, but she is down on a swinging strike here as Buskey records her first K of the afternoon. 2 up and 2 down for Katie Pollock. Buskey into her motion. And this is too low with the first pitch to her opposite number. In position, if not in actual number on their jerseys, although they are only 1 apart. So they are, is that sequential? Is that the term I'm looking for? Looking to our technical director, Bryce Suter, for some assistance here, and he is just nodding and agreeing, which I think was really more what I was looking for. 1-1's popped up, shallow right field. Malchak comes on from right field and lays out to make the catch, and it ends the inning. A 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the third. To the fourth, Aurora has stopped the bleeding, but have not managed to strike yet themselves. It's 4-0 here in Game 1 of the 2025 NACC tournament. They are nearing the stretch at the NACC baseball tournament. Their first game, Edgewood leads Concordia Chicago 2-0. Sean Fry with you. Thanks for being here. I'll be here for all of them. And if I lose my voice, Bryce Suter is coming in out of the bullpen. This is the first he's learning of this. Ball 1 up high. That's really the key. Can I find a way to sound like I know what I'm talking about? So far, so good, I think, right? 1-1. Comperta gives this a ride to right. It'll stay in the yard as Emery backtracks just in front of the warning track and records the first out. That might be Aurora's most well-hit pitch of the day, but ends up in the leather for an out. So here is Nina Richards. 0 for 1 after a pop out. Here's a liner down the right field line and into the corner. Extra bases for Richards as Emery picks it up, heaves it back in. And with 1 out, Aurora threatening in the fourth. And the Spartans will need more where that came from. It's Alex Thiel who comes to the plate now. She also popped out. Let's see if she can have a similar bounce back. First pitch swinging and rolled over it to third. Conzal picks it up, throws to first. Thiel is out. Richards was waiting and advances to third. Now it's a runner on third. 2 outs for Clemens. Can Carly Clemens come through? He takes ball 1. Like so many in this Aurora lineup, she is 0 for 1. 18 driven in the regular season. Base hit would do it here. This is a bouncer to second. O'Donnell on 2 hops. Fields it. The exchange is quick. Throw is good. And Aurora, 4 chances in this game through 4 innings with a runner in scoring position. No runs to show for it. 1 hit, 1 left. Had traffic in every inning. At the halfway point, still trail MSOE 4-0. Bottom third of the MSOE order to the plate. The bottom of the 4th, 4-0. Raiders in front. Madeline Buskey has come in, thrown a couple of shutout innings out of the bullpen. Starts off Caroline Forrest with a ball. RBI single for the MSOE shortstop. Back in the first inning, and she gets ahead of Buskey 2-0. 2-0 pitch, lifted to center. Ortiz with time. Records the first out. That's 5 straight retired by the senior from St. Louis. St. Louis, by the way, home of the Cardinals. I think everyone knows that at this point, but it's where Aurora alum Chris Roycroft currently pitching. Tossed a scoreless inning last night in a Cardinals win. And being a Cardinals fan in St. Louis is almost mandatory, so I would imagine Buskey likely is. But there's a surprising amount of Cubs fans in the greater St. Louis area, so you never know. You don't want to make assumptions. That's the wrong thing to make an assumption about. There's Olivia Beals to the plate, gets behind 0-2 with a couple of foul-offs, and now it's 3 pitches and 3 foul balls. As the freshman digs in. 0-2. It's in the dirt. Do you consider yourself a fan of any of the Chicago baseball team? You're wearing a Bears hat. A White Sox fan? 1-2. They've had better days for sure. Another foul ball. Our graduate assistant, Ryan Swanson, also a Sox fan. I will say the ballpark experience is delightful. Not a bad seat in the house. 1-2. Beals battling here against Buskey and finally hits a ball that will be in play. It's a fly ball to Ortiz, who runs off the logo and records the second out. Addie Cortman to the plate in the 9th spot of the MSOE order. First pitch from Buskey taken for a ball. Raiders team, it was voted to finish 7th. The NACC preseason poll, they finished below 500 a year ago, which was the first time in quite a while. They have a chance to still finish above that mark if they can have a strong tournament. It would likely require at least a win in the NCAA tournament, which would, of course, require winning this one. 2-0 pitch in for a strike. And Buskey battles into the count. On a Raiders team that I think certainly exceeded the expectations of the preseason voters. Ground ball to short, backhand stop Biggs, who turns, fires, and ends the inning. As Maddie Buskey has back-to-back 1, 2, 3 innings. Aurora is running out of outs, though. 9 left. We go to the 5th, and they trail MSOE 4-0. Four runs, 6 hits, no errors. And 2 left for MSOE through 4 innings. Aurora, no runs, 2 hits, no errors, 4 stranded. Bottom third of the AU order up, the top of the 5th. Tournament hosts trying not to be the first team out. Work to do. They do have a couple of wins when trailing at this point this season, but have only come back to win when trailing in the bottom of the last, which is a little ways to go. Just the one time it was against these MSOE Raiders. But when trailing after 5 and 6, not a win to be found for the Spartans this season. It's been difficult to come back for a lot of teams. Kelsey Oviant on 1-0 lifts the ensuing pitch into center field, where will be taken care of by Jacobson for the first out. Just hasn't been a lot of hard contact in this one for Aurora, and when they've been able to get it, haven't been able to string them together. Stephanie DeBise will try to start it up. Takes a ball from Pollock. DeBise memorably opened the season on a 15-game hit streak, and she reached in the first 22. It's ahead of Pollock 2-0. The power's real. The 405 marks in the top 10 in the league. And she'll have a 3-0 count. The question, of course, is this a time where maybe you do swing at it? I think normally, and it is a red light situation here as DeBise takes a strike, I think normally you're taking that pitch all day. I think you think about it down 4-0, right? A pop up on 3-1. Nelson coming down the first base line. Records the second out. That's 5 pop outs for Aurora in the now 14 outs they've made. Mia Malchek on Aurora's first hit 2 innings ago. Takes a ball to get this plate appearance started. 1-0. Finds the inside corner. Pollock has located her fastball well. It's not anything surprising, of course. Saw it here on display a couple of weeks ago. Malchek fouls off the 1-1, but she has been particularly sharp today. And Aurora has not had a lot of opportunity to breathe at the plate as a result. Counts have been largely unfavorable, and that has allowed Pollock to explore the entire zone. He misses to Malchek and evens the count. 2 outs, 2-2 pitch. Nobody on at the top of the 5th. Here's a flip to center. Will it get down? Sure will. Malchek's 2 for 2. And that'll bring the top of the order to the plate. Ortiz out on an illegally batted ball, made contact outside of the strike zone in her last trip after walking the lead off the ball game. Not moving forward this time, but rips the first pitch foul. Oh, 1. Left side of the infield brought in. Here's a scorcher, and that's foul as well. And it's 0-2. We're looking for a 2-out rally here in the 5th. Pollock well outside. A ball and 2 strikes. 1-2. Grounder up the middle. A nice play by Forrest, the shortstop, to glove it down. And then the toss to second for the inning-ending fielder's choice. No runs on a hit, 1 left. 4.5 in. Aurora in trouble. The 8th-seeded Spartans trail number 5 MSOE 4-0. Autumn Sadler at the top of the MSOE lineup leads off for the Raiders in the bottom of the 5th. Raiders are 6 outs away, or potentially 4 runs from advancing to play Concordia, Chicago this afternoon at 4 o'clock. Madeline Buskey has come in and pitched well in relief. Counts 1-0 as she misses to Sadler, and then will miss with the second pitch to fall behind 2-0. And has retired 7 straight, and 9 of the 10 she's faced. Ground ball hit hard, knocked down by Biggs, who pops up and throws out Sadler. And Biggs has a strong right arm, but that was a hard hit ground ball and a good reaction to get the glove down and give herself a chance to make the play. What's been an error-free contest so far, and a game that has showcased some nice defense on both sides. Jenna O'Donnell fouls off Buskey's first pitch. She has a couple of singles. Right now, the only MSOE player with multiple hits, and one of only 2 in the game is Mia Malchek, is 2 for 2 for Aurora. Buskey finds the corner, gets ahead of O'Donnell, 0-2. They try to retire the senior from nearby Mendota for the first time. 0-2's well outside. Mendota, of course, where Aurora University traces its roots. The Mendota Seminary moved here in the late 1800s, or rather the early 1900s. School founded in the late 1800s. O'Donnell's 3 for 3. Flair in the right field with 1 out. Ends the run. So Buskey now will try to start a new streak. Faces Alyssa Jacobson for the second time. Got a fly out to right in the first time. Swing and a miss. And an 0-1 count for the senior. Jacobson with the home run in the first. That has held up as the go-ahead swing. Fouls the 0-1 off the handle. One thing that's not likely is a double play. Aurora turned only 4 in the regular season, which was last in the league. A pop-up. Comperta in foul territory. Reaching toward the dugout railing. Makes the catch. That is a lot of the reason why Aurora did not turn more double plays. And situations like this, they were able to get a lot of outs like that. They don't ask how you get the outs, they just ask that you do. And O'Donnell took second base. So Aurora evidently lost track of her. O'Donnell just went to second. And now Jada Nelson will bat with a runner in scoring position. Takes 2 misses. We're both very close. Nelson hit in the final 10 games of the regular season like the freshman Autumn Sadler, but is 0 for 2 so far. She did drive in runs in each of the last 2 games of the season. And time call. Strikes taken. I think we got clarification that O'Donnell appears to have taken the extra base when Lily Comperta stepped into the dugout. Won't matter if she does here on a pop-up foul territory. She reaches. Wasn't able to make the catch. It's 2-2. MSOE had 4 swings with a runner in scoring position in the first inning. And connected with hits in 3 of them. Liner up the middle. It tails towards Ortiz in center, who comes up throwing. It's a strike to the plate. And a good decision by Jenna O'Donnell to not make the turn, as she would have been out by a sizable margin. Nelson stops at first after extending her hit streak. It's runners on the corners with 2 outs for Carly Emery. Feels like an opportunity for MSOE to finish the job if the sophomore can come through. Rolls over the first pitch. Clemens is on that. The freshman second baseman throws out Emery. And the inning comes to an end as Aurora escapes the jam. 2 hits. Runners left on the corners. But Aurora has 6 outs left. They trail 4-0 through 5 innings in Game 1. Or more accurately, Game A, the 2025 NACC tournament. One error for Aurora after the play that allowed Jenna O'Donnell to advance to second. Lily Comperta made a catch in foul territory and then stepped into the dugout. So that is the first error of the game. Aurora down 4-0, top of the 6th. Faith Biggs fouls off the first pitch. Katie Pollock has been terrific. Allowed hits in each of the last 3 innings, but that's it. Aurora's had a runner past second base just once. Here's a liner in the left. And Biggs has hit in 5 straight. She's 1 for 2. So Aurora tries to start the road back. Meanwhile, the Marian University Sabres are beginning to warm up in the batting cages beyond the third base dugout. Grounder up the middle from Comperta, and it bounces through. Just past a diving effort by the MSOE defense, but it found a way. And Aurora is threatening to lead off the 6th. Nina Richards doubled down the right field line last time up. She's 1 for 2. Pollock trying to settle down. First pitch, fouled off the handle. It will have enough to get into the netting. Also important to note that MSOE led the conference with 19 passed balls. In total, with wild pitches, 30 opportunities that got by the catcher for whatever reason and led to an advance. So Katie Pollock will certainly want to be careful. This is not really the time to bury a pitch. Richards fouls off the first 2 from Pollock. And we'll see what she dials up. It's a high heat. And Richards takes it. Counts 1 and 2. First 2 are aboard in the top of the 6th for Aurora. There's another pop-up that will get out of play. No one there to make a play. I think that's what we're going to do for the rest of the first day. We are going to harshly judge the attempts of fans to catch foul balls, whether they do or not. Nothing there that time. Another pop-up. Sadler comes over, makes the catch. Biggs tags, and it's thrown down the line. Biggs turns and scores. Comperta slides in the third. She's safe. So the out is made. Then Biggs advances to third and scores on the throwing error. And that allows Comperta to advance to third, and it'll bring Sierra Spyu out of the dugout. Well, Biggs tagged up, and for a moment that looked like a terrible decision. But Sadler pulled the throw. A strike to the bag. Likely would have gotten Biggs by a significant margin. She hit the brakes there in the baseline at one point. Then Comperta made the big turn. And she just barely got in ahead of another throw to third. It was a wild sequence, but Aurora's on the board. It's 4-1. There's 1 out and a runner on third for Alex Steele. The infielders are hugging the lines. Pollock takes ball 1. It would appear that the way the corner infield is lined up, they're trying to prevent against a squeeze, but I don't know. In this spot in the game, I don't know that you're attempting a squeeze play and possibly making an out. Field fouls off the 1-0. Fly ball would bring in a run, but again would waste an out. Pop up left side. Third baseman Conzol trying to find it. She makes the catch on the warning track. Aurora is 0 for 6 with runners in scoring position. I'll have to find a way to break through. Carly Clemens will try. She fouls off the first pitch. Clemens is 0 for 2. Hasn't gotten the ball out of the infield today. We'll try to change that. 0-1 runs up and in. Clemens can extend the inning. Not only would it potentially bring in a run, it would also bring the tying run to the plate. There's a lot hanging on this plate appearance that Clemens has now inched ahead in. Three and one. And Kelsey Oviatt waiting on deck, looking for her first hit. She's wearing her shin guards, hoping to get a chance, maybe tie the game, and she will. A 5-pitch walk to Clemens has put runners on the corners. And from one freshman to another, who is the tying run. 5 really quiet innings for Aurora, but threatening now in the 6th. Pollock trying to settle in and settle down. Misses high. All of a sudden, the zone has gotten considerably tighter, and I don't mean that from the standpoint of the home plate umpire. I mean that from the standpoint of the pitcher, maybe squeezing a little bit. Runner goes. It's a taken strike, and Clemens is in. That's a set play. Trying to force MSOE into a decision. And now Oviatt will bat with 2 in scoring position and a 1-1 count. She takes ball 2. And Stephanie DeBise is on deck with potentially game-changing power if she can get to the plate this inning. 2-1 to Oviatt is on the outside corner as Pollock fights back and evens the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 in scoring position. Raiders leading 4-1 in the top of the 6th. And Kelsey Oviatt, the freshman, trying to deliver for Aurora. Pollock shakes the first sign. Came up and in. Oviatt was looking fastball. She got one and roped it into the left field bullpen. It does make you wonder if Pollock will go to the breaking ball after that. There's the 2-2. She does not, and Oviatt spoils it. The sun now shining here at Bedrosian Stadium. Will it shine on Aurora's tournament chances? 2-2 again. That's too high. The count is full. Bryn Timmer warming up in the MSOE bullpen. Will this be Katie Pollock's final batter? Payoff pitch. Fouled into the screen. Two singles and a walk in this inning for Aurora. Payoff pitch, grounded to third. It's hauled in by Conzal, who tags Clemens and ends the inning. Aurora threatens, but now 0 for 7 with runners in scoring position. They do score on 2 hits. There was an error. They leave 2. Insurance time for MSOE. They escape the jam, allowing only 1, and lead 4-1 going to the bottom of the 6th. Katie Pollock leads off for MSOE after escaping trouble in the 6th. And a lead intact. Bryn Timmer continues to warm, so we'll see if Sierra Spyu decides to use her as a closer. You would expect that she would be the Game 2 starter, especially with how she has pitched down the stretch where she's the reigning and final NACC Pitcher of the Week. 0-1 popped up in the shallow right, and it's down in front of Malchek and takes a hard right turn. Maybe a little surprising that Pollock wasn't sent to second, but Aurora did recover nicely, and Pollock is held to a bloop single. This would seem to be an automatic sacrifice situation for Caroline Forrest. Let's see if I'm right. At least not on the first pitch, although we frequently see a take. It's too high and the count's 1-0. Once again, not bunting, and it's fouled off. MSOE evidently not playing for one. Try to maximize the inning. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Buskey finds the corner and gets ahead of Forrest. 1-2. Ground ball right side. Clemens will take the play at first. Might have had time to get the lead runner, but elected for the shore out instead. And MSOE will get at least a couple of swings with a runner in scoring position. Olivia Beals is 0 for 2. And so is Addie Cortman behind her in the 9th spot. Roller up the middle. Buskey gets the glove down, almost threw it away. Pollock advances to third, but Beals is out at second. That was a bit of a nervous throw. Sometimes you can have too much time. I think that's what we saw there. Now it's Addie Cortman with a 4-run lead. Only 60 feet away. Cortman hit a liner right to Comperta, who knocked it down. Cortman didn't even run. It's not really clear why she did not, and Sierra Spyu doesn't appear to be happy. I'm presuming that she's not happy with her left fielder, who is retired on the 3 unassisted to end the inning. Leadoff single left on third. It's last chance time for Aurora as they try to avoid being the first team out in the 2025 NACC tournament. We're through 6 innings, and MSOE leads 4-1. Katie Pollock will try to finish the job as she has so often this season. 18 complete games in 21 starts. Aurora with 8-9-1, due up in the top of the 7th. They trail 4-1. Tournament hosts, the last team in the field, although they had qualified with a weekend to spare, end up as the 8th seed, and now will try to rally to extend the ball game. Stephanie DeBise is 0 for 2. Looks at strike 1. Single elimination for the first day, and there's no margin for error. A rocky first inning where MSOE recorded 4 runs on 5 hits. The difference right now, DeBise falls behind 0-2. and then looks at a fastball down and away for ball one. That's all it takes. Madeline Buskey has pitched well in relief, but has the damage been done? There's a looper to left. That was Reese Posen, by the way, who was batting here, not Stephanie DeBise. But the result is a fly out to left. And there's one away. Mia Malchek, 2 for 2. 3 for 3 would be a good place to start as Aurora tries to roar back in this one, but with only 2 outs left to extend their season. Malchek takes ball one. Pollock right back into her motion and misses again. The sophomore right-hander, 6 1/3, 1 unearned run on 5 hits and a couple of walks. She gets a bit of dirt behind the circle and now steps back on. 2-0, finds the corner. Aubrey Ortiz will bat this inning. We know that for sure, and then we'll see if anyone's left. Malchek fouls off the 2-1. Stranger things have happened, certainly in the NACC this season, when we've seen a number of late rallies change what seemed like certain results. Aurora trying to add to that. Malchek fights off the 2-2 to stay alive. Marion and Lakeland next. That is a 1:30 start. Winner of this one plays Concordia Chicago at 4. 2-2, fouled into the glove of Sadler. 2 down. It's the 3rd strikeout for Pollock today. Actually, just the 2nd one. As Aurora is down to its final out. Ortiz fouls off the first pitch. She is 0 for 2 with a walk. Oh, 1 tapped foul. The Raiders are a strike away from clearing the first hurdle and eliminating the Spartans. Team that received the first place vote. Voted to finish 2nd in the NACC. Now needing a significant rally. Counts 0-2. Several seniors on this squad will be missed if Aurora is not able to extend its season. Ortiz still down 0-2, but staying alive. Alex Thiel, Nina Richards, Faith Biggs, Maddie Lung, Ariana Anderson, Madeline Buskey, Riley Campbell. The seniors who were celebrated on Senior Day a couple of weekends ago and have all had terrific careers at Aurora. Perhaps a strike away. Ortiz takes a close pitch and now on 1-2 fights off another. Good fight by Aurora. Faith Biggs on deck, one of those seniors I mentioned, hoping for one more chance at the dish. 1-2 to Ortiz. Slapped in the left. Cortman's there, and the ball game is over. It's MSOE who is moving on. 4-1 the final. The Raiders with 9 hits, 1 error, and 6 left. After they finished the 7th with a 1-2-3 inning. Aurora, 1 run on 5 hits, 1 error. They leave 6 today as well. Raiders move on to play Concordia Chicago, the 4th seed at 4 o'clock. They move to 20-21 on the year. Aurora season ends at 23-18. Time of the game, 1 hour and 20 minutes. It's Katie Pollock with the win, moving to 13-10 on the season after allowing just an unearned run in a complete game 5-hit performance. 2 strikeouts, 2 walks for the sophomore. Caitlin Seraphin takes the loss and falls to 12-5. So to the AU fans and family, we thank you for joining us all season long. Of course, your support is why we are here, and we are excited to welcome you back in March of 2026. And to the Spartan seniors, we congratulate them on terrific careers and wish them the very best in their future endeavors. But it comes to an end for Aurora in this one. 4-1 MSOE. The 5th-seeded Raiders eliminate the 8th-seeded Spartans and move on to the second round of single elimination play at 4 o'clock. But if you are just watching it because you like NACC softball, well, you are in luck. 3 more games today. The next one is at 1:30, featuring 6th-seeded Marion and 7th-seeded Lakeland. Come on back. What else are you doing on a Thursday afternoon anyway? It's the 2025 NACC softball tournament here at Bedrosian Stadium at Aurora University. Have a great rest of your afternoon, and we will see you later today.